This, I was like trying to call, I tried to call her on her cell phone, and she wouldn't answer, which immediately I'm like, she's not answering, culprit, I found it, I know who this is. And I'm leaving her messages, and I finally like, oh, I have an old number for her, I have like a house number, let's see if they're home. So I called the house line, and I'm scrolling through my phone, and I find Denise, come. And the phone rings like 4 or 5 times, and this voice answers, hello? And I'm like, Denise, yeah? Were you in my house tonight? Who is this? This is Michael. Michael Tatum. Hello, your best friend. Hello, did I wake you up? It's only like 11 o'clock at night. What the hell's wrong? And I'm just start bitching her out. And then I just hear this. Oh, Michael Tatum. Oh my God, how are you? It is my boss, Denise, from 6 years prior. New York or something. Had her number, and I just was like 1 click away, and it was like, oh, and so I was like, I go from like enraged to, oh, hey, Denise. I know I'm a voice actor now, it's crazy. And so I do this, and then finally, and now I call the police come out there, and the guy's like, writes up a report and everything, and I'm just like livid, and I finally get a hold of her, Denise, and she's like, sweetie, it's not me, I've got proof, I've got an alibi. And so I finally, and then I find the beer and the ice cream, which really sends me. I'm like, that's my name. This is not right. And so I call Rena. No,
I called you.
You called me.
Because segue back to me. You called me the first time, and I was like, I'll totally call him back in like 30 minutes, let him sweat it a little bit, you know. And then I forgot.
4.5 hours forgot.
It was like 3 hours.
It was like 4.5.
So then, I literally, it was like almost waking up in a cold sweat kind of thing, kind of like, oh my God, I need a call taxi. So I call him, but I don't want to just call him and say, haha, that was me. I call him and I say, oh my God, did they put beer and ice cream in your fridge?
First reaction is, oh my God, yes they did.
I'm gonna get you into my house too. Yes, I'm fucking kidding you. What's wrong with you?
I'm like, you bitch. And the whole time, like, Joshua, my boyfriend, is the calmest person in the room. He was like, I told you it was probably Brina.
And I can hear him laughing. Because I think Mike was just like, no, you don't know, this is serious, this is serious. Like, he was taking it so seriously. And he was like freaking out the whole time.
Yeah, and Josh was just like, it's bound to be Brina. She's just
yeah. So of course, he was having a heyday when I finally called back.
She was so wrong for that. But I love you. It's funny. It's funny though, because I kept my furniture in the way they rearranged it. My furniture.
Have you really?
Yeah, no, it's changed. Well, she really does work better there. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know how the hell I'm ever going to pay you back for that. It's been like 2 years.
I know. Okay, and then.
Whatever. And then you keep pranking me.
Yeah.
Like,
so I
assume you deserve this.
Because the first convention that we finally did together, I don't know why it took so long for us to do a convention together, was Anime Central, like last year. And I assumed that he was going to prank me, so I obviously preemptively pranked him. I sang "Send in the Clowns" by Stephen Sondheim, but I changed all the lyrics to be about him.
Because I hate clowns. I hate
So I made all the lyrics about him and about how, like, when I broke into his house, I actually had clowns with me. I was watching him at this convention, watching him, and they're eventually going to turn him into one of them. It's an opening ceremony.
Yes.
Like, I mean, they were like 5 minutes.
And let me just tell my version of the story. Okay, she came on after me in the introductions, and I had to piss like a racehorse. I was like, everyone, it's great to see you. Okay, bye. And I'm like running off stage, and she had all these people in booths with her. So the minute I get up on
I had told everyone
she's
on
on
staff,
stage to do her thing. And then I am trying to make a beeline for the restroom that's backstage, and they won't let me. Like, I have...
They're just, like, engaging in a conversation.
They're like, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. And I'm like, oh, so I got to shake hands with, like, the contractors. I'm like, oh, yeah, great, great. And then I hear this, Tatum, get up here. And I'm like, what? And they're just, like, on stage, here. And I'm like, oh, I got to pee. And then, on stage, I'm like, what is this? And then, yeah.
Ingenious!
My joke was good, but it took too long to do.
If you would have started it months earlier, it would have been better.
I didn't think of it like the week before they thought.
Yeah, it was actually a really clever idea. He made up these flyers that had like a picture of this ridiculous, adorable sloth on it, and saying that like it was my pet sloth. I was rescued from Honduras, which by the way, sloths don't live in Honduras. That like it had died recently, so to be sure and like come and send my send your condolences. So I mean, like maybe 2 people asked me about it the whole convention, and I was like, what are you talking about?
Well, and I decided that the name of the sloth was Beck.
Yes.
And so, because I wanted people to come up to me like, oh, we're so sorry about Beck.
Yeah, so I was just so
this is Beck's the name of the show. That's really
I was like, what do you mean you're sorry about Beck? It was the greatest show ever. Like, so yeah, it was slightly confusing for those 2 people, but having done it earlier, then there would have been, like every person in my autograph line, and that would have been brilliant. But,
and it was so, the thing is that my group, my little fan club, the Shadow Followers, they these flyers, which were really freaking awesome, and they made like a YouTube video that was like a tribute video to Beck. And it was really cute, but it was such a huge con that people kept taking the flyers down and like.
Yeah, you had to have like a license or whatever to actually put anything up. Like it had to be approved, because he didn't talk to the con people. See, what I did is talk to the con people. Stab, man. Yeah, we do. You better get you back.
I know, she's like, it's not fun if you want to be pranked. It has to be something
sign of friendship.
I know. So, let's see.
I have no idea.
I guess I'll pick that. Let's see. All right, I see. Let's see. I see an orange there with the rose. Yes.
I would like to ask you, would you prefer to do Kiyoya or Sebastian?
Ooh.
Like do. Either one. I mean, that's hard. That is.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, Kiyoya is hot. I would not kick Kyoya out of bed for eating crackers. But because he's a demon, I'm pretty sure Sebastian knows a lot more tricks. To go with the demon who also knows how to cook. That's gonna be mine. That's. Is that what you meant? Really? Is that what? Okay.
I say things and don't think about it.
Welcome to my life. The words, it's like my mind is sinking in an ocean and like the words are jumping ship.
Would you rather voice?
Sebastian was, I loved voicing both of them. Sebastian was a little easier than voicing Kiyoya because Kiyoya reminded me so much of myself in high school and it was a really difficult role to get my head around. It was hard to be objective about it. Sebastian was challenging in some respects, but fun in others, and because he's just unreal, he's a fantasy character, you have a little more elbow room to play with it and kind of make it your own. So Sebastian, and plus Sebastian was later in my career, and so I was, by the time, between Kiyoya and Sebastian, there was a lot of parts that gave me a chance to kind of hone my skills, so I felt by the time I got to do Sebastian, I was kind of at the top of my game as far as voice dubbing is concerned, so I love them both, and I could never really pick, like, if it was do or die, I could never actually give you a real answer, but I really think Sebastian probably is my all-time favorite character I've ever played. So, there's that. You pick.
Made.
What do you think about the new Black Butler and Young Master Ali Claude? What are your opinions?
I haven't seen it yet. So
No spoilers!
I'm only vaguely aware of it. I don't know, because I want to keep blissfully unaware of it until we start.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to try and watch it before you
I've seen all of Black Butler.
work on it because you don't want to get a lot of preconceived notions of what you want because it might clash with what the director wants. So you want to be sort of an open slate for them, or a clean slate for them. I mean.
I mean,
But I'm sure it's awesome.
Oh my
I know enough
god,
about
the
them just kind of
I've heard it's actually
here
really
that I'm interested to see the way that pair will interact with Ciel and Sebastian. It looks
I must eat
there's
it.
probably a lot of really good dramatic tension there, which I can't wait to explore.
It's
My turn. Let's see. We got 10 minutes. We got time for a few more questions. Let's see. Way there in the back, holding up another plushie. Yes, you.
Which character out of Yo-Yo Oakley or Ryan and Cromwell do you have the most fun doing?
Wow. Between the two of them, probably Kyoya, because I love Oron. Oron is just a really good show, and Kyoya was just, I don't know, Kyoya was just really fun to revisit that time in my life that reminded me of being in high school. So, and I liked, and believe me, I like doing Ryan as well, but Kyoya, between the two of them, Kyoya wins out.
you in the front. I tried out for Ciel, obviously, and Lizzie, and I think those are the only two I actually tried out for. Like, I don't think I tried out for, oh my god, I just blank, Monica's character. Mayrin, yeah. I don't think I actually tried out for, I think I just tried out for Ciel and Lizzie.
I tried out for just about every male part with the exception of like Ciel. Because, you know, I'm like, little boy, no, can't do it. But shut up, there was never anyone know. Oh my god, you people.
You started it.
That's on YouTube now. I'm like, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it is, right here.
Do little boys, like you're saying it's not incriminating.
What was the question?
How are the auditions?
He auditioned for all.
I auditioned for pretty much all of them, and it was really funny because we all knew that the show was coming down the wire, and so Colleen Klinkenbeard, the show's producer, she's also in the show. She plays Angela. And oh god, talk about a voice I could just listen to for hours and end. Just read something. I don't even care. Just read a menu. She's really fun to work with, and she was really gung ho about getting to do the show. And so she's like, everyone brush up on your accents because
yeah, she gave us all like
in the show has an
warning.
accent. And so we're all like trying, and I'm like, well, I can do this. And I tried out for pretty much all the males, but I auditioned for almost an hour, which I've never done. We just lost track of time.
Yeah, there weren't nearly as many girls as.
It really was. It's very.
I take it back. I did audition for Mayrin. I remember now. It was a very short audition. For Mayrin it was, but yeah.
But I was really nervous because I hadn't done an accent in the show before, not for a dub. The only other show I'd ever worked on that had accents in it at all was Bacano, but Isaac, my character, didn't have an accent, so I didn't have to really ever try that out.
Yeah, normally they highly discourage it, which is why I think it's funny that all of a sudden, you know, for years it was just like, don't do an accent, be as neutral as possible, and then all of a sudden we had Natalia. Like all this stuff, and we're like, we need accents!
And it's funny because getting to do an English accent of the kind that Sebastian uses, that very Regency, that highfalutin Victorian English, because I don't want to speak anymore. But for me, I grew up in Texas, and I don't have a trace of an accent because I had a speech impediment as a kid, a really bad one. And I took speech therapy for several years from a British lady whose name was like Mrs. Britt.
Wow.
And she was like fantastically ancient, really sweet woman, and she would